Hi, I'm Andrew Chignot. I'm a philosopher at Cornell University.
And I'm Sam Newlands. I'm a philosopher at the University of Notre Dame. Hope and optimism are really powerful and important elements in human life. And we're excited about this project that will fund new research in social sciences and in philosophy to study the nature of hope and optimism, the norms associated with them, and the role they play in our lives.
But we're also interested in making some broader connections to a wider audience or a broader public. And so one of the things we're really excited about is that we'll be funding two competitions, one playwriting competition and one video competition. We're looking for works that depict or exhibit in a new way the nature of hope and optimism, or the role that they play in human lives, in a way that goes beyond a kind of scholarly engagement.
Working with our Science Advisory Board, we're excited to announce a $1.4 million research funding initiative for new work on hope and optimism in psychology and sociology. How can hope be reliably measured? And how does it correlate with optimism, with well-being more generally? What are some of the psychological, environmental, or cultural mechanisms that underlie the development and maintenance of hope or optimism?
We're also interested in funding straightforward philosophical research into these topics. There's a long tradition of thinking about hope and optimism and related states. We want to engage that tradition, but we also want to advance it and have people thinking about connections to epistemology and moral psychology. Also just the nature of hope and optimism. Are they cognitive states, non-cognitive states? Do they have rationality conditions that are obvious? When is it irrational to be optimistic? When is it rational to be hopeful? Are they virtues?
Of course, for some, hope is also an important theological concept. And so we'll be funding new research in analytic theology on how the findings about hope and optimism bear on practical arguments about religious conclusions. So for example, could it be rational to hope that God exists even if you didn't believe in the existence of God? And could such rational hope motivate religious practices of various sorts?
We're also interested in a collaborative aspect to the project. There have been people in lots of different disciplines, social sciences, philosophy, theology, working on these topics at various points. There's also a history of engagement with these topics, but there hasn't been as much collaborative, really cross-disciplinary work on these issues. And so we'd like to see whether we can come up with a project that ultimately is greater than the sum of the value of its parts by having people really engage and talk to one another about the sort of research they're doing and what they'd like to see result from it. So we hope this gives you a good sense of what the project's going to be like. We're excited about it. You can check back often for updates, interviews with our researchers, footage of the winning videos and play. You can also follow us on social media.
Thanks so much for your interest, and we hope you become involved in the project.